Welcome back to the Hockey Show. Now, I have not been as active as I would like to be. I have been busy, and I also have been doing things, and I also have ran out of ideas. But I am here to tell you, lovely viewer, with your beautiful face, that I am back, and back for good. I am going full force. I've got the Hockey Show, and I'm proud to announce the return of the party package as a separate channel where I'll be posting video games, reviews of movies and TV shows, podcasts, whatever else, reactions to things, whatever else comes up the sewage pipeline, or whatever the saying is. So, I would like to tell you to go over to the party package, the same name, same branding, everything. Just go on over there and go take a look for yourself. The first video's up already, and plenty more is to come soon. Along with that, I would also like to say the return of plenty of videos on this channel, coming at least one or two a day. Bare minimum one. I would like to do two. Eventually, I will do three. Morning, noon, afternoon. So, that'll be how it will come eventually, but that's when the hockey season comes. Till then, well, I'm just going to say, let's stick with one for now. So, with that, I'd also like to throw one more thing in. Do you guys like me dressing up nicely? I mean, I don't really know if I have a returning audience, but I think dressing up nicely. Should I do less? Should I take off the jacket? Or should I just wear, like, normal, like, clothes for teams? Should I wear, like, a jersey? I don't have a jersey for all the teams, but I might have shirts for most of them. Just tell me what you think, or should I do more? Should I wear a suit and tie and stuff? Like, should I wear a full-on outfit like I have? So, tell me down below if you even watch this. Tell me what you think down below. But, sorry for all of that. Let's get to what you clicked on this video for, which is top 10 rookies going into this season. Now, I have made this video 100 times now, and also, this board is stupid. So let's just jump into number 10, Cole Perfetti, before his name goes wiping away by falling into my box. So, Perfetti, to me, is going to be a good guy. I think he's going to have a solid position on the Jets, too. I think the Jets, they have an opening for a top 6 guy. You put him in there, and if he can play well with Ehlers and Pierre-Luc Dubois, or if he can play well with Connor and Scheifele, I mean, Blake Wheeler's in there, but who cares? So, like, if he can play well with one of those two tandems of guys, this guy's going to have a huge, well, jeez, everything just fell behind me. That was kind of weird. Felt like someone, like, farted on my foot. Sorry for saying that. Perfetti, to me, is going to have a pretty good opportunity with the Jets, as he's going to have so much players and guys around him, solid superstars around him that are going to elevate his game. Now, if he gets put on the third or fourth line on the Jets, he's in a bit of trouble. That would not be desirable for really any player at this point. That bottom 6 is not good. But if he can stay in that top 6 role, I think he will have a great season. Calder-worthy, I guess maybe it depends with, like, someone like Scheifele and Connor, like, go on his career. I mean, Connor's always having a career season. Way underrated. But if those guys, like, can elevate his game by a lot, maybe, but I don't see Perfetti being the guy. Number 9, Owen Powers, of course. Obviously, the best defenseman on this board is he's the only one, but probably he should have been. This is not a ranked board, by the way. This is not ranked. This is just 10 names. Owen Powers will be the best defenseman out of this rookie class, I would say. I think he's going to. I read that people say he could be like a Moritz Seider-like influence on the team and impact. I don't see it. I don't think he could do that. I don't think he's there quite at that level. I would say Seider's probably the best defenseman in the next few years. But Powers will be good. And also, I feel like Seider had a great... not great, but he had, like, an actual, like, good few players in front of him. He had guys, like, he could play with Larkin, Zadina, you've got Bertuzzi, Raymond. Like, you have Verana. You have some names on that team that are trying to try to be good players. A team like the Sabres don't really have a lot of guys that he can elevate their games. So Powers is going to be kind of knocked off for that. So unfortunate for Powers, but he could show how good defensively he is, but he's definitely not going to get to 50 points. Cause not even, I would say Victor Hedman might not even get to 50 points with the Sabres. So for him, probably not Calder, but that is unfortunate. If he was on a different team, maybe if he was on the Red Wings, I would say maybe. But then you also got guys like Evason coming up with the Red Wings, actually. So he didn't make it on the board because I felt like these guys deserved more talking about. So he's got better. There's other better defensemen who are in a better position to succeed right now. Over time, he might be the best one, but for this season, maybe Evason's the best one. But that's to see. Now, number 8, Andrei Kuzmanko. He was a points per game guy in the KHL. He won't be that here, but I think this is going to be a great grab for the Vancouver Canucks. I think Canucks are going to be. I think this is a good, solid grab for them. I think he will pair. I see him pairing well with JT Miller and Connor Garland. Garland, Miller, and Kuzmenko. Whew! I think that is going to be a solid line. I think Kuzmenko can get up to like 40 points. Maybe he gets to like 50 points, but he gets like 25 goals, 25 assists. I think he's going to be in a good position to be a good goal scorer. I think with Garland's tenacity, JT Miller's just overall solidness, and Kuzmenko's skill, I think that is going to add up to a really good line combination there. And I think Kuzmenko is going to have a solid season. Not Calder-worthy, but it'll be up there. Marco Rossi. Now, he's got a good spot as well, like Perfetti. He's going to be on a team where he's going to be able to put into the top 6. And if he could pair... Now, I feel like it depends. If he gets paired with Kaprizov, he could be in Calder running. If he's on that second line with, like, Ryan Hartman or something, I don't know. I don't really know if I don't think Rossi, would be there. I don't... It kind of depends on where he's positioned on the team. I would say he probably doesn't play along with Kaprizov, but I think Rossi will grow and be a solid duo. But maybe he's a super duo with Kaprizov. So I don't know. I think Rossi was he was a huge steal for the Wild. He was dropped in his draft class. And I think when I was watching his highlights, I was like, man, I like this guy. He also has a cool name. So I was like, I want my team to pick him up, but the Wild snab him, and I think he's going to be really good. I don't really see him as a super stud. I see him as like a Tomas Hertl, where like everyone like knows he's good, and he can do really good tricks and skills, and he's obviously got all the skill. I think he's going to be one of those type of guys where he will get up to like 80 points, but he's never going to be like 100 points. You know what I mean? He's going to be good. Everyone knows he's good. Everyone knows he's a threat, but he's not like the guy on his team. So that's just what I have to say. Alexander Holtz, he had 26 goals. 26 goals in the AHL. Now, I went to a lot of AHL games, and even the guys that I thought were good didn't get 26 goals. So 26 goals for him, outstanding. Alexander Holtz, I think the Devils are primed for a really good run this year with so much talent on that team, along with Holtz now being a goal scorer for them. Pair him with Hughes, and it could be like Backstrom and Ovechkin. Of course, Holtz isn't Ovechkin, but you know what I'm saying. That could be quite the combination there. So I think Holtz is going to be good. Now, is his goal scoring going to be worthy of a Calder? Probably not, but I think he will grow into being a solid top 10 goal scorer in his coming future. Number 5, top 5 now, William Eklund for my Sharks, which the jersey went over there. I think he was primed to be the best NHL ready player in his draft class. He was dropped by a lot the same year Rossi was, and a lot of these guys. So I think Eklund is going to be big. I think he, especially with how not well made the Sharks are, he'll probably be put with, I would say, Hertl, Meyer, and Eklund. Eklund on the side. Maybe he could play center, but I would say probably keep Hertl in the middle, Eklund, Meyer. And that line could be dangerous. That could be the only thing dangerous about the Sharks this whole year, is that one line could do some damage. I could totally see Eklund being like the superstar all-around guy, Hertl being the super skilled player that can pull out some crazy moves, and then Timo Meier just being an absolute beast. That combination right there, that could be like a little bit of like a watered down Mikko, Rantanen, McKinnon, and Landeskog line. I can see that. You have like Landeskog and Eklund McKinnon and Hurdle and Rantanen and Meyer. That could be like a watered-down version of them. If you have a watered-down version of that line, I would say you're doing pretty good. If those guys can all get like 60, 80, 90 points and above for each of them, and your guys get like 50, 60, 70, that would be okay in my book. I would be happy with that for the Sharks this upcoming year, and they could grow. But anyways, I think Eklund's going to be good. Mason McTavish. I know this video is going a little long. Mason McTavish absolutely stole the show for the World Juniors, at least in my opinion. Seeing some of his highlights, that one where he stopped the puck from growing across the line, this guy's going to be a stud. The Ducks now have Zegras and McTavish and Drysdale in the back. These guys, the Ducks are primed for a great future. McTavish is going to absolutely steal the show. I think I would not be surprised if he is the Calder winner. This guy seems like the type of guy, now I think he might be hurt by the fact that he doesn't have superstar players around him to elevate his game to start, but I think just his overall presence on the ice could win him a Calder. Probably not. I think if he was in a different position, say if he was on the I don't even know. I feel like he's hurt a lot by the fact that he's on the Ducks and he's not going to have a lot of support. But if some guys like Troy Terry, Zegras, you've still got, they don't have the Henrique, I guess, still. Now they have Strome. So he's got some guys around him to bring him up, but usually guys like the guy like Perfetti or Rossi is going to have some guys around him that are really going to elevate them. And I think McTavish might suffer from that, but he is going to be a gold player in the NHL. McTavish, look out for him. That he's going to be absolute gold in the few years. Just because, unless him and Zegras pair well together, which they could, but I don't really see those two guys together winning a Calder for McTavish. But anyways, number 3 and 2, both on the Seattle Kraken, Shane Wright and Beniers. Now, these guys could be the ultimate combo. This could be the next Lemieux and Yager. Probably not. I think those guys probably not make it to there. But just kind of like that. These two guys, Shane Wright's absolute skill, and Matty Beniers as well. Both of them just have so much talent in those two guys. If they pair well together, that could be an absolute star-making thing for the Kraken. It could absolutely just sell the team right there, is that those two guys pair well together. Beniers, I think, could be the Calder Trophy winner this year. Last year, he showed in his few games, was it not? I can't remember. Is it 9 points in 10 games or 15? It was something really well, something pretty good that any player did would get a thumbs up. So, I think Beniers might be the better of the two this season. Shane Wright might pass him in the upcoming years just to develop his game to the NHL level, and to do that. And Beniers already has kind of gotten acquainted with it. So I think Beniers is gonna, out of these two, be the better one. But over time, Wright might become that. But one of these two guys could totally win the Calder. Between them, I would say Beniers, unless Shane Wright really is just the dominant force that he could be. But I just feel like he kind of shares it with McDavid, where I think they might take like a year or so to kind of kick into that beast mode. So I would say between the two, Beniers has the better season. And number 1, not really number 1, but number 1 on my board here, Juraj Zlaskovsky, of course the number 1 pick from Slovakia. I think this guy's going to be a stud. I think, once again, I know I talk about the Sharks, so they just good comparisons. I think he could be like a Timo Meier, where he can go barreling through people. He can outpower them, just skate through them, muscle them off, and then pull out some crazy move. He's got size and skill. I think Slavkovsky's just going to absolutely dominate. But once again, the biggest problem for him is that he has got nobody around him, unless guys like Caulfield and Suzuki can really keep their game going. Could you imagine if the Canadiens' top line is Slavkovsky, Suzuki, and Caulfield? That would be pretty cool. That would be really cool if that line could come together. But then the rest of the team would probably suffer. I would say probably spread around the talent. But that top line right there of those young guys who are going to be the future of the team, that would be a really cool combination right there. But I don't think Slavkovsky can... I think he has... If he was on... I think he's probably the best... I don't know. It's kind of so hard to tell. Because with the Canadiens being the absolute worst team, I just don't see how he would have the best. He's going to have a tough time. Guys like Beniers and Wright, McTavish, kind of Eklund, but probably not. Holtz, Rossi. Like, all these guys have so many good players that are going to be around them. Eklund can have Hurdle and Meyer. McTavish has Zegras with him. Wright and Beniers have each other, and they also have guys that the Kraken already had. They brought in Bjorkstrand and Burakovsky. Like, Rossi obviously can have Kirill Kaprizov. Holtz has Hughes and Heischer and all these other guys, Dawson Mercer. So all these players have a great opportunity with the team that they already have. But Zlaskovsky might have the toughest time playing with the team that he's been given because the Canadiens are bad. They are bad. So I feel like Zlaskovsky might be the best player on the board, but he might have the worst team to play with. So, and that is going to be that really changes everything for a guy. So, it'll be hard. It'll be hard to see where Zlaskovsky goes. On this list, who do I think wins the Calder? I think the top three guys probably, I would say for me, I think top three would be McTavish, Beniers, and it's between Zlaskovsky or Wright. For me, I see Shane Wright having like a McDavid year where he doesn't really get to super shine like he's going to eventually. I think he has to adapt, especially being on the Kraken. That's not like a super good team. So I think he's going to adapt his game and he'll eventually get there, but not this season. Zlaskovsky, I feel like, is the type of guy that can play good regardless of who he's with, but he's not going to be helped out very much by who he's with. Rossi could go in there because if he plays well with Kaprizov, he could easily get to like 60 points just by Kaprizov feeding him the puck. You know, like, these guys all have so different hands that, someone like Holtz, what if he pairs really well with Hughes, and Hughes finally makes his jump to be a superstar, and he sure does as well. A lot of these guys, it's like, well, if this happens, then this. But for me, I think the top three are Beniers, McTavish, and between, I think, Zlaskovsky, Wright, or Holtz. It's so hard. But between them, I feel like Beniers might come away with the Calder. For some reason for me, I see Beniers as the Calder winner. I just can see him taking it home. Just with the little sample size he had last year, I could see Beniers taking the title back home for him. So this video has gone on really long. I apologize. It wasn't supposed to, but there's a lot of players to talk about, and I have too many things on my mind. So thank you for watching this video. Tell me all about below how wrong I am. Please pick up your free subscription by hitting that red subscribe button. If you liked the video, leave a like, not a dislike, but you can down below and tell me how wrong I am. Who do you think's going to win the Calder, and who do you think's going to be the biggest jump-out guy? Who didn't I put on the board? I know you got Evason, you got Logan Thompson, you got a lot of guys that I didn't put on here. Tell me down below all about it, and until next time, I have been the dapperly dressed Owen. And I don't know if I already said this. I apologize if my voice sounds a little hoarse. I was at a Five Finger Death Punch concert with The Who. It was amazing, and I lost my voice. So, thank you for watching this. Till next time, too sweet, and TTFN. Ta-ta for now.